What if I told you that some of the most important inventions you use every single day were created by black inventors whose names were deliberately erased from history? I'm talking about the traffic light that kept you safe this morning, the GPS that got you where you needed to go, the blood transfusion that might have saved your life or someone you love, even the peanut butter in your kitchen cabinet. These inventions didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were created by brilliant black minds who faced racism, discrimination, and systematic erasure. Their patents were stolen, their names were removed from textbooks, their contributions were credited to white colleagues. But today, we're setting the record straight. We're going to tell you about 10 black inventors whose revolutionary creations changed the world and whose stories were deliberately silenced. If you're ready to learn the real story behind the inventions that shaped modern life, smash that like button and subscribe for more hidden black history. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at everyday objects the same way again. Let's dive into the top 10 black inventors and inventions that were silenced. Garrett Morris, gas mask and traffic light. Who they were. Garrett Morgan was born in Kentucky in 1877, the son of former slaves. He moved to Cleveland with barely an elementary school education, but had a mind that wouldn't quit inventing. What they did. Morgan invented the gas mask in 1914, officially called the safety hood, but he didn't stop there. He also created the three-position traffic signal that became the foundation of every traffic light system in the world. What they went through. Here's the shocking part. When the tunnel explosion trapped workers in Cleveland in 1916, Morgan and his brother used his gas masks to save 32 lives. But because he was black, the newspapers gave credit to a white man. When he tried to sell his invention across the South, he had to hire a white actor to pretend to be the inventor while Morgan posed as the assistant. Every traffic light you see today uses Morgan's three-position system. Every gas mask, every breathing apparatus used by firefighters and medical workers, they all trace back to his original design. During COVID-19, when masks became essential for survival, we were using technology that a black man invented over 100 years ago. But this is just the beginning. Wait until you hear about our next inventor. Lewis Latimer, light bulb filament. Lewis Latimer was born in Massachusetts in 1848 to parents who escaped slavery. He served in the Civil War and taught himself mechanical drawing while working as an office boy. While everyone credits Thomas Edison with inventing the light bulb, it was actually Lewis Latimer who made it practical. Edison's original bulbs burned out in hours. Latimer invented a carbon filament that made light bulbs last for months, not hours. Despite being one of the most brilliant electrical engineers of his time, Latimer was often the only black person in the room. He worked directly with Edison and Alexander Graham Bell, but history books barely mention his name. He faced constant discrimination and was frequently excluded from recognition for his groundbreaking work. Why it matters. Without Latimer's carbon filament, we might still be using candles. Every electric light that has ever illuminated a room for more than a few hours used his technology. He literally brought light to the world, but most people have never heard his name. And speaking of forgotten names, our next inventor's story will blow your mind. Gladys West was born in rural Virginia in 1930. She was a mathematical genius who became one of the first black employees at the Naval Surface Warfare Center in the 1950s. What they did. West spent decades developing the mathematical model that became the foundation for GPS technology. She programmed computers to calculate the exact shape of the Earth and track satellite movement with unprecedented precision. West worked during the height of segregation, often as the only black woman in highly classified military projects. She faced both racial and gender discrimination while developing some of the most advanced mathematical models of her era. For decades, her contributions were classified and unknown to the public. Every time you use GPS, whether it's finding a restaurant, calling an Uber, or getting emergency help, you're using Gladys West's mathematical models. Her work revolutionized navigation, transportation, and global communication. She didn't get public recognition until she was in her 80s. But if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear about the man who revolutionized blood storage. Charles Drew was born in Washington, D.C. in 1904. He became a brilliant surgeon and researcher who revolutionized the way we store and use blood for medical emergencies. Drew developed a method of processing and storing blood plasma that made blood banks possible. His techniques for separating, storing, and shipping blood plasma saved countless lives during World War II and beyond. Here's the tragic irony. Drew created the blood bank system that saved thousands of white soldiers during World War II, but the military segregated blood donations and eventually banned black donors entirely. Drew was so disgusted with this racism that he resigned from the program that he had created. Every blood transfusion, every surgery, every medical emergency that requires blood, they all depend on Charles Drew's innovations. His work has saved millions of lives, yet many people don't know his name. During the pandemic, when blood donations were critical, we were still using his methods. Now, let's talk about someone whose invention is probably in your kitchen right now. George Washington Carver was born into slavery in Missouri around 1864. He became a botanist, inventor, and educator who revolutionized agriculture in the American South. Carver developed over 300 uses for peanuts, including peanut butter, cosmetics, paints, and plastics. But most importantly, he taught crop rotation techniques that saved Southern agriculture from economic collapse. What they went through. After the Civil War, Southern soil was depleted from cotton farming. White farmers initially rejected Carver's advice because he was black. He faced constant racism while trying to help farmers save their livelihoods. Many of his innovations were later patented by white colleagues who took credit for his work. Carver's crop rotation methods became standard agricultural practice worldwide. His peanut innovations created entire industries. Without his work, modern sustainable farming might not exist. He literally helped feed the world, but history often reduces him to just the peanut guy. But let's move from agriculture to communication with our next revolutionary inventor. Granville Woods was born in Ohio in 1856. He was a self-taught electrical engineer who became known as the Black Edison for his numerous groundbreaking inventions. Woods invented the multiplex telegraph, which allowed communication between moving trains and train stations. He held over 60 patents for electrical devices, including improvements to the telephone, telegraph, and electrical railway systems. What they went through. Woods constantly had to fight for his patents in court. White inventors, including Thomas Edison himself, tried to steal his work and claim it as their own. He won multiple legal battles against Edison's company, but the constant litigation drained his resources and energy. Every train communication system, every subway network, Every form of wireless communication between moving vehicles, they all build on Wood's original innovations. His multiplex telegraph was the foundation for modern telecommunications. Without his work, our entire transportation infrastructure would look completely different. From transportation to your home appliances, our next inventor's work touches your life every single day. Frederick McKinley Jones was born in Kentucky in 1893. He was largely self-educated, but became one of the most prolific inventors in American history, holding over 60 patents. Jones invented portable refrigeration systems that revolutionized food transport and storage. His mobile refrigeration units made it possible to transport fresh food over long distances, transforming the food industry forever. Despite his genius, Jones faced constant racial barriers in the engineering field. He was often excluded from professional organizations and had to work twice as hard to get his inventions recognized. Many companies profited from his work while giving him minimal credit or compensation. Every refrigerated truck, every grocery store's cold storage, every vaccine that needs to stay cold during transport, they all use Jones' refrigeration technology. During the COVID-19 pandemic, his innovations were crucial for vaccine distribution. Without his work, our modern food systems couldn't exist. Speaking of things we couldn't live without, let's talk about an invention that literally elevates our daily lives. Alexander Miles was born in Ohio in 1838. He was a successful businessman and inventor who saw a dangerous problem that needed solving. Miles invented the automatic elevator door system that prevents the elevator from moving when the doors are opened. His safety mechanism made elevators practical for everyday use and prevented countless accidents and deaths. Miles faced significant discrimination when trying to patent and market his invention. Many elevator companies initially refused to work with a black inventor, even though his safety device was clearly superior to existing systems. He had to fight for years to get proper recognition and compensation. Every elevator you've ever used safely has Alexander Miles to thank. His automatic door systems became standard in elevators worldwide. Without his safety innovations, skyscrapers as we know them couldn't exist. He made vertical transportation safe for everyone. But perhaps no invention on our list has saved more lives than our next innovation. Patricia Bath was born in Harlem in 1942. She became an ophthalmologist and laser scientist who dedicated her career to preventing blindness and restoring sight. Bath invented the laser phaco probe, a laser device that removes cataracts and restores sight. Her invention made cataract surgery faster, safer, and more effective than traditional methods. Bath faced double discrimination as both a black woman in medicine. She was often the only black student in her medical classes and the only woman in her residency programs. Despite her groundbreaking work, she struggled to get funding and recognition from the medical establishment. Bath's laser surgery techniques have restored sight to millions of people worldwide. Her work has prevented blindness in countless patients and made eye surgery accessible in developing countries. She literally gave people the gift of sight, yet many people have never heard her name. But our number one inventor story might be the most shocking of all. Otis Boykin, heart pacemaker. Otis Boykin was born in Texas in 1920. He became an electrical engineer who specialized in creating precise electronic components for various applications. Boykin invented the electrical component that made modern pacemakers possible. His precision resistor allowed pacemakers to regulate heartbeats accurately and reliably, revolutionizing cardiac medicine. Boykin faced systemic racism in the engineering field and had difficulty finding employment at major corporations. He was forced to work as an independent inventor, often struggling financially while developing life-saving technologies. Many companies profited from his work without giving him proper credit. Millions of people are alive today because of Otis Boykin's pacemaker technology. His invention has prevented countless cardiac deaths and allowed people with heart conditions to live normal, active lives. Yet his name is virtually unknown outside of medical engineering circles. From GPS to pacemakers, from traffic lights to blood banks, Black inventors didn't just contribute to modern technology, they created the foundations of modern life. These 10 innovations alone have saved millions of lives and generated trillions of dollars in economic value. Yet most of these brilliant minds died without receiving proper recognition for their world-changing work. So here's my question for you. Why are these names missing from our textbooks? Why were their stories deliberately silenced? Drop a comment and let me know which inventor surprised you the most. If this video opened your eyes to hidden Black history, smash that like button and subscribe for more untold stories that will change how you see the world. Because these inventors prove that Black excellence isn't just part of history, it is history, and it's time the world knew their name.